let's go ahead and start. So, the first thing that you need to remember, and this was from the video, is what is the standard form? So what was the standard form? Dora? Y equals C? Oh, okay. I didn't hear that, but so the standard form is AX plus BY equals C, where A, B, and C are integers. You cannot have fractions and you cannot have decimals. If you watched the video yesterday, you should be okay with what we're doing today because the video was a lot harder than this right here. All right? So what are you supposed to, I cannot have that 10 as a denominator, so how do I get rid of it? I multiply by 10, and I'm going to do it on both sides, right? So 10 times y would be 10y. What is 10 times negative 11 tenths? Negative 11, and you have your x, right? And what is negative 10 times negative 1? Negative 10. Now over here, what do I have to do? Plus 11x on both sides, right? All right, so what's my standard form? 11x plus 10y equals negative 10. There you go. Again, a lot easier than what you did on the video. Because on the video, you had to look for b, and then you had to go and change it to standard form, right? All right, so, oh, this one's real easy. What's the only thing that we need to do over here? Add a 2x. Very good, because there are no decimals and no integers. So this would be 2x plus y equals negative 9. Very good. All right, over here. What do I have to do? Multiply by 5. Very good. I got to multiply by 5. And I'm going to do it on both sides. So 5 times y equals 5y. What is negative 7/5 times 5? Negative 7x. You always eliminate that denominator. That's the purpose of multiplying by it. Minus 1, right? And then to get rid of that minus 7x, I'm going to add 7x. Very good. So it would be 7x plus 5y equals negative 1. Very good. All right, next one. Multiply by 12. Very good. So that would be 12y equals, what is 7/12 times 12? 7x. Very good. Plus, what is 3/4 times 12? You can do it in the calculator if you want to. There's no shame in that. We have a calculator. But this is canceled, right? And that would be 3. And then you get 3 times 3, which equals 9. And then to get rid of that 7x, minus 7x. So negative 7x plus 12y equals 9. Alrighty, next one. Very good. Multiply by 5. So that would be 5y equals negative 8x minus 12. And then I'm going to add 8x. I guess the ones that are not answering didn't watch the video. Because this is a lot easier. All right, so now you get 8x plus 5y equals negative 12. All right, over here. There you go. See, that's what I like to hear. So that would be 6y. And then after that, negative 7x minus 5. And then plus 7x. All right, so 7x plus 6y equals negative 5. All right. Over here, multiply by 4. Very good. So 4y equals negative 7x plus 7. And then I'm going to say plus 7x on both sides. So 7x plus 4y equals 7. Pretty easy, right? Yeah, the ones on the, again, the 5 on the video were a little more challenging. And they really weren't that hard. You just got to work a little harder. All right, so the next one we're going to multiply by 5. So 5 times y would be 5y. Negative 6x minus 7. And then I'm going to add 6x on both sides. So 6x plus 5y equals negative 7. Okay? All right. Multiply by 3. Very good. So 3y equals, does he have a packet? Does Cornelius have a packet? All right. Thank you, guys. All right. Negative 4/3 times 3. Negative 4x plus 6, right? And then I'm going to say plus 4x. So it is 4x plus 3y equals 6. Multiply by 7. Very good. So 7y equals negative 10x minus 8. I'm going to add 10x. So, oops. There you go. Thank you. 10x plus 7y equals negative 8. Alrighty. Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of them, but really, in reality, you didn't spend that much time with them, did you? All right, so we're going to go ahead. We're only going to do a few from here because you guys can do this very, very well. But I am going to go ahead and highlight what we're doing. What slope-intercept form is the one that you first learned. You learned it in 7th grade, which is y equals mx plus b. Very good. So we're not going to do all of them. We're going to do 1, 3, and 5. On that one, because you guys are really good at this, we're only going to go ahead and solve for y, right? So in order to solve for y, I got to say minus 3x. And then I get that negative 2y equals negative 3x minus 16. And then I have to divide by. It's not 2. Thank you. It's negative 2. 3/2 x, very good, because then negative divided by a negative is a positive. And then you can leave it as a fraction, right? We don't have to change it to a decimal or anything like that. And negative 16 divided by negative 2? Plus 8. And negative divided by negative, it's a positive. Stop, stop, stop. All right, number 4. Take away x. So negative 3y equals negative x plus 6. And then divide by negative 3. Now I'm going to go ahead and write my invisible 1. There you go. Good job. Thank you. So y equals, what's negative 1 divided by negative 3? Just 1/3. Very good. You don't have to change it to a decimal, especially if it's a repeating decimal. Definitely a big no-no. And what is 6 divided by negative? That's positive. Negative divided by negative. And then that would be negative 2. Good job. All right, and let's go to number 6. Talk to me. Minus 6x. Yeah, I'm old. What can I say? 5y equals negative 6x minus 15. And then we're going to divide by 5. All right. So what's negative 6 divided by 5? Negative 6/5. And then what's negative 15 divided by positive 5 is negative 3. Stop talking in the back of the room. All right. This one, we're going to have to write in standard form. So we need standard form. What is standard form? Go for it. AX. Uh-oh. 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 That should be an X, right? AX plus BY equals C, which just means that the X and the Y's need to be on the same side. We're not solving for X or Y. We're kind of solving for the number, right? For C. Now this is just like the video, right? Because I gave you a point and then the slope. So I'm not going to have enough space over here, so I'm just going to open a new one, and then I need you guys to tell me what the point was. Tell me what the point was. And then what was the slope? All right. So the first thing that I need to do is find my y-intercept, right? So I always go to, what do I have? I have that x equals 1, that y equals 2, and that m equals 7. And you always go to mommy equation, which is mx plus b. Now I call it mommy equation because it's the first one you learn, right? All right, so let's start plugging in or substituting. 2, 7 times 1 plus b. We should watch movies every day because every time we watch a movie the next day, we are just like on fire. All right, so 2 equals, what is 7 times 1? 7. It's a lot better than sitting down and trying to do it on your own, isn't it? Take away 7, right? So b equals negative 5, right? So I got my negative 5 over here. Now I need to go back to mommy equation, y equals mx plus b, slope, intercept, and only substitute the m and the b. So 7x minus 5. Now I want it in standard form, which means the y and the x need to be together. So I am going to say minus 7x. So minus 7x plus y equals negative 5. There you go. All right. Can you tell me the point on the slope for number 10?
Negative 2 and 5. Sorry.
3 and negative 1. It's okay. Miss Noreen does it all the time. And what's the slope? All right. So what do I have? I have that x equals 3. I have that y equals negative 1. And I have my slope. And I need my b. So let's go to mommy equation, slope intercept. And let's start substituting the values of y, x, and m so that we can figure out b. Negative 1 equals negative 1 times 3 plus b. It's positive 3 and negative 1, correct? All right. So negative 1 equals negative 3 plus b. Then I have to add 3 on both sides. So b equals 2. Back to mommy. All right, so the m would be -1. Do I really have to put that -1? I just put a -x and then plus 2. Now to write it in standard form, y and x are hanging out together. They're chilling together. They're partying together. So they need to be together, right? X plus y equals 2. Good job, my babies. Okay? All right. Let's do 11. Negative what? All right. And then what's the slope? All right. So what do I have? X equals -2. Y equals 5. And I got my m. I need my b. So y equals, mommy equation, mx plus b, slope, intercept. Y equals 5. M equals -4. X equals -2 plus b. -4 times -2 would be positive 8. Take away 8. B equals -3. Back to mommy. So what's my slope? -4x minus 3. Okay? And then x and y need to be chilling and partying together. So plus 4x on both sides. Uh-oh. So 4x plus y equals -3. Yay? All right, let's go to the next page. You're not doing the other one, 12, I think, right? Am I good? All right, so I want to do number 14 because look at the slope. So look at your Hawks and Vox and Hawks. I always do that. Hoy and Vox and figure out which one you need to use. We need to use Vox. That tells me that this is a vertical line with a slope that's undefined, which means the equation is x equals a number. What's the number that equals x? 2. You're done. So x equals 2. That's it. Because it doesn't have a slope. Okay, listen. You can go to mommy equation if you want to. But what are you going to place for m if it's undefined? It doesn't exist, right? So that is canceled, right? And then you get that y equals 5, right? But then that's not the equation of the line. The equation of the line is which one? X equals 2. So you're done because when it's undefined, x always equals a number. When it's 0, y always equals a number. So you didn't have to do anything in here if you know Hoy and Vox. Yay? All right. Yes, it was. All right. So this we're going to do tomorrow because the video today is on this point slope. Okay. So let's go to this one. See, we're not going to do the whole package. We're going to skip a few of them. A whole bunch, actually. All right. Because I didn't want to cut and paste them. That was too much work. Plus, if I'm always like, okay, I didn't do a do now, guess what? Go to that page and do the do now. And you know, all right. So, don't worry, there's a method to my madness. Okay, so we have a slope of 3 and a point of 2 and 8. Now, it's not telling me, it just says to write an equation, correct? So because it just says to write an equation and it's not telling me if it's on standard form or if it's mommy, y-intercept or slope, we're just going to do y-intercept and slope. So for this one, I'm going to do, I'm going to do y equals mx plus b. All right, so let's write what I got. I got that x equals 2. I got that y equals 8. And I got that m equals 3. So I need b, correct? All right. So y equals mx plus b. What's my y? 8. My m is 3. My slope is 3. My x is 2. So now I get that 8 equals, what's 3 times 2? 6 plus b. And then I have to take away 6, right? So what is b? 2. There you go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that and that to come over here and come up with my equation. With me? All right. This is not hard to do at all. Okay, so this would be 3x plus 2, and you're done. All right. Yes, it is. Let's do number 3. All right, let's highlight what we got. We got a point, and we got a slope of 4, right? So that means that x equals -2, that y equals 3, and that the slope equals 4. So you've been in my classroom for 6 weeks now. Hopefully it's getting a little easier. And it will. Yeah, it's been 6 weeks. It's almost 6. No, you're right, it's 5. You're right, it's 5. You're right, it's right. It feels forever. All right. So let's see. What's y? 3. What's m? 4. What's x? -2. So that would be 3 equals, what's 4 times -2? -8 plus b, right? And then to get rid of that -8, I got to add an 8. So what is 3 plus 8? 11. So now I'm going to use this and that to come up to mommy equation and substitute the values, right? So y equals, what is my m? 4. 4x plus 11. I know. I'm telling you, those videos are like the bomb. All right, let's go to 5. So when you have 2 points, you can, but I've showed you a better way to do that with that calculator. But how are you going to go to y equal to if you're looking for the equation of the line? Thank you. All right. But, eyes on me, eyes on me. Before you go to stat, because I'm going to tell you what I do every time. I go straight to stat and I don't copy it down. It's not an option. We're going to do it. You're going to write an X and a Y table. Yes. That's the only work you're showing, because the calculator takes over that, right? Takes over after that. I'm telling you, every time I don't do this, this is what happens to me. Yes, I get them confused, and when I go to y equal to, I write them like this. What did I just do? I took the first 2 as x's and the second 2's as and I messed it up, right? So I flipped it. All right. So we go to the calculator, correct? And we got to go to stat. And we're going to go 4 and 8. Those are my x's, right? And 5 and 3. I had this, but it wasn't working. I don't like standing up and giving my back to you guys. That's why I've been using the camera. But now that this is working, I don't have to. First of all, I don't like standing up because I'm old and my feet hurt. And then second, I don't like turning my back to you guys. All right, so after you put them on stat, then what do you need to do? Alvin, are you working with your calculator? Because I don't see you. Then you need to get a calculator. Solve your problem, sir. In this classroom, we're all about solving our own problems. Anastasia's not here. You can get her calculator. We got to have initiative, buddy. We don't have initiative. This is not the place for you. All right, and then we press enter. All right, and there it is. All right, so I'm going to have to get out of here because I should have written that X over here. What was my M? It was negative 0.5, but I'm not going to write it as a decimal, correct? I'm going to write it as a fraction. And what was B? B was 7. All right. So Y equals what? No, I'm not going to write it as a decimal. Negative 1/2 X plus 7. Now, I want this one in standard form. So what's standard form? AX plus BY equals C. All right, so what do I have to do? Multiply by what? Thank you for those that didn't forget from the video or the do now to here. Very good. So 2 times y, 2y. What is negative 1/2 times 2? Negative x. And what is 7 times 2? 14. And now I got to add an x? Yes? All right, so when I add an x, what's my equation? X plus 2y equals 14. Very good. Good job. Yay? All right, number 6. Number 6 is the same thing. I have 2 points. So before we go to that darn calculator, what are we doing? Writing the X and the Y table. The chancleta voladora. All right. It's so funny because even if you don't speak Spanish, you understand what it is. All right. So then we're going to go to stat, right? All right. So I'm going to go back to stat, but I need to clear that list. So I got to go all the way to the top and enter. Yeah, all the way to where it says L1. All right. So what are my numbers? Negative 1 and 7. You probably guys can do it a lot faster. It's harder when I do it here. And then we're going to do stat, calc, 4, all the way to calculate, and then we're going to enter. All right. So talk to me. What is M? M equals 1/2. And what is B? Yeah, but we're not going to write it as that. We're not going to write it as a decimal.
So 2.5 is 2.5. Yes.
Thank you. What did you say, Gabriel? 5.5. Thank you.
How is it 5.5?
Divided. What's half of 5? 2.5. Yes, you should do 50. What do you mean go to stat? Oh, yeah, you did. 50 points for you too. All right. So y equals what? 1/2 x plus 5/2. But I want it in what? Shh, stop talking or you're going to lose points. I want it in standard form, so I'm going to multiply by what, Evelyn? By 2. Thank you so much. All right, so this would be 2y equals x. Very good. And then I'm going to have to say minus x. And then it becomes negative x plus 2y equals 5. Yay? All righty. All right, put that in there. We're going to have an exit ticket, but the exit ticket is from yesterday's, the transformation. So you can leave your notebook open and use all your notes. Use the cheat sheets and your notes from yesterday to do the exit ticket. All right?